Oh boy, Instagram is giving me trouble here. Instagram is giving me trouble. God.
Do you wanna restart your computer?
Me no. Instagram is hanging to life. Facebook is live. YouTube is live. Instagram is hanging. I don't know why. Okay. Yeah, you can leave it. I'll try again as we're going on. Okay. Hello, my people. My name is Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity CSO, and this is Chinedu Anichi TV. Otobo, Nsukka. We are streaming live from United States of America, live as we're speaking with you. Look us up on YouTube at Chinedu Anichi TV, Instagram at Chinedu Anichi, and Facebook at Chinedu Anichi TV. Today is a very great day. Tobias Onuze, welcome, and all of you. Now, at this point, we have two important personalities, youths of Nigeria, and one based in Canada and one based in the United States of America. And these two are successful youths of Nigeria who started from the scratch, exemplaries of men who hustled, who moved from grass to grace. And today we'll be talking on youths of Nigeria and the way forward. Consolation, advice, interaction. Be active. Call in with +1 701-989-1910. You will see it right in the comment section, the number you can call in if you want. And for those of you who are on Instagram is having a little problem. I don't know, logistic, but we're going to review it again and see if it's connecting direct to you. So today we'll be having one, Dr. Ozemena Nicodemus Ugu, Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz is head and chief of psychiatry, member advisory committee on health for I'm sure something I've forgotten. He will talk about it when he comes. And in Ontario, in Canada. Let's bring Oz to board. Yeah. OZ is here. So OZ, you're welcome to the studio.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are watching us live on Chinedu Anichi TV. My name is Dr. OZ. I'm a physician based here in Canada, in Nigerian. I'm currently the head department of psychiatry and the member medical advisory committee of the hospital. I'm also a fellow of the Royal College of Physicians in both internal medicine and psychiatry. I'm happy to be here today on Chinedu Anichi TV to talk about the issues that are very important to our youth, both in Nigeria and in diaspora, and to share experiences and interaction. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, OZ. Again, we'll have our brother Hillarry, Dr. Hillarry. Dr. Hillarry is an automotive guru. Dr. Hillarry is manager, project engineering, a project engineering from Return Technologies. Return Technologies is one of the companies that does fighter jets for United States Defense. And Dr. Hillarry is here live. So, Dr. Hillarry, you're welcome to Chinedu Anichi TV.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, just like you said, my name is Dr. Hillarry Onyishi from Nsukka, Enugu, Nigeria. And I'm happy to be here with my brothers, Dr. Oz and Chinedu Anichi. Discuss about issues affecting Nigerians, Nigeria youths home and abroad. Like Chinedu rightly said, I am a mechanical engineer by profession, and as a matter of fact, I started my journey in Nigeria, Unizik, as a mechanical engineer before coming to the United States, and then I continued in that trajectory. I'm here to share my experience prior to coming to the US, and also my experience in United States of America. Thank you guys for listening, and then I think today is going to be quite entertaining and then also educative. We are here to answer all kind of questions and concerns that you may have, and then also to provide some advices that can help you wherever you are, whatever you need to succeed in your professional endeavor. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Hillarry. Both of them are professionals in their field of endeavors, and today they are here to share experience. I wonder where you are, and I applaud you now to share this live video on your pages, forward it to the groups you know that will benefit, especially groups that have youths dominant in your WhatsApp contacts as we go on. Today, it will not be fair if we start discussing about the youths of Nigeria without first of all, when we meet people, like if you meet celebrities, because you are our own celebrities too, celebrities is nothing except that you are being celebrated for excellence, for achievements. And we celebrate you in our own level. So you are our celebrities. And celebrities, each time you interview them or they come to interviews like this or shows, they would like to share the stories that made up their glory. If you touch Osime will tell you, I was selling pure water If you touch Timaya, we tell you I sold my mind. If you touch the other person, we say I did this. So today, we would like to to hear the little stories behind your glory. And I want to start with Dr. Oze. Dr. Oze, please, can you tell us a little of your background, how you started in life?
Thank you so much, my brother and Chinedu and Ichi again for inviting us today to share our journey. Um, I'm from Nsukka, particularly from Edem, and that's where the journey started in the early 80s. I did my primary school in Edem, and then thereafter I moved to the best secondary school that was available at that time, the St. Teresa's College, under the tutelage of John Martins, a Reverend Father at that point. And why I wanted to mention this is that St. Teresa's School imbibed in me the culture of discipline, the culture of being focused, the culture of hard work. Because one thing we the youth need to understand is that this life is a marathon, it's not a sprint. At St. Teresa's College, we proceeded to the University of Nigeria, where I read medicine and surgery and obtained my MBBS in 2003. After completing my MBBS, I proceeded to do my internship at then Parkland General Hospital or Parkland Specialist Hospital. We were the pioneer group of doctors that did their internship at that point. Throughout this journey, I was always optimistic of remaining in Nigeria. I never pursued USMLE exam or anything. I love the country so much. I wanted to stay back in Nigeria because I believed in Nigeria, but I also believed in myself. But something very important happened after we completed our internship. We were meant to be employed to do our residency then, but somehow the then CMD decided that people from certain part of the state would not be employed. And I'm talking about in 2003. And this happened. And after that, I came to a conclusion. I said, look, if the criteria for giving employment in my own state is where you are from, then maybe I have to, for now, I still love the country, but I have to live in pursuit of excellence. And let me be quite honest with you. That pursuit took me to Ireland, to United Kingdom, where I obtained my residency and fellowship of the Royal College in Canada. But one thing that was very important between what happened to me in Nigeria and when I came abroad was that in 2016, when I was employed in my current hospital as a physician, the chief medical director then, I didn't know him, but these leaders are trained in being able to identify talents. He attended one of our department meeting, and after that, he wrote a letter. I didn't know that. I only found out this letter from the College of Physicians and Surgeons in Ontario when they sent a letter to me. The CMD was simply saying that they have employed someone in part of his reference for me. He sent to the CPSO indicating that they had employed someone that he believes is going to be a leader in this department. And it didn't take more than 2 years after I settled in. We have about 15 other physicians, and they approached me to become the head of the department. I declined because I thought it was too early. I also felt that there were other 15 doctors. All of them were far older than me. I was the youngest, and I didn't know why I was being asked to take this position. I declined it, and we voted someone, one of my colleagues who was much more older, or was living in New York at that point. Then the COVID came about, and this man couldn't come back because of the COVID restriction. And the hospital, through the CMD, came back to me again and said, look, please, can you even work in the acting capacity? And I agreed. And all is now history. For the past 6-7 years, I have been the head of this department. We have achieved excellence. In short, on the 7th of June, the Premier of Ontario, Doug Ford, will be coming to commission a 6 million project that was executed under my department. Having said all this, the one thing I wanted to point out is that it was just not rosy. I knew how we grew up. We spent most of our time after school going to the farm, going to sell mangoes. All this and our history. The most important thing is that I want to talk to our youth is this. You always have to have a vision, a dream. And that dream will be anchored. You have to believe in yourself first. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will believe in you. Dream big, think big, and work hard. You will arrive. Thank you. I will leave it at this point and allow the anchor to continue with the program, and I'll take questions. Mr. Nichi?
Hello. Hillarry, tell us your own background and let our viewers hear your own story. Hillarry, okay, I mute you. All right, let's go.
All right, thank you again, my brother. I'm going to start just giving a quick background of myself again, and just something similar to what Dr. Zed pointed out is the journey. But again, let me use this moment also to actually re-emphasize on the reason why I accepted to come here. Number one is the job that our brother Chinedu have been doing here in the United States, propagating the Nigeria agenda in a more and a more encouraging and a positive way. So one of the things that moved me to be here today was just the work that you have done. And I feel like it's imperative for me to appear here to also share my experience to Nigeria youths that might be struggling or thinking that the country that you love so much have turned her back on you. So I decided to be here to share that experience. Maybe it might help you to understand that, you know, you have many or better days ahead of you. So my journey started just like Dr. Zed said, way back in Edem, community primary school, community secondary school, and then eventually, in fact, when I say community, I want to make sure that people understand what I mean. Um, my primary school education was a bit okay, but transitioning into secondary school become more challenging in a way that I only had an English teacher from JS1 to JS3. And then stepping into SS1, the good English teacher that we had then was taken away. Just like Jose said, St. Cyprian, St. Teresa was one of the best secondary school then. So what happened is like when you are like in community school, they take away all the good teachers and then move them to a better school that are well paid. So for us, we have to do it in a hard way. I never had an English teacher graduating from secondary school. I never had a physics teacher graduating from secondary school. And then the only teacher that I had in sciences was chemistry. Biology was after SS1, he left. So why am I saying all these things? I just want to make sure that people understand that your desire to succeed in life starts from your decision as an individual. So for me, it was not the end of the road. It was actually a challenge. The only way I learned English today, I went to the market and bought this book called written by Dr. Chota. So that is the book that I actually learned all my English from as a child. So, and then passed my WIEC, and then also did my JAM and passed and went to UNIZIC to study mechanical engineering. After my graduation, it was just like you have dream and aspirations. Like I want to work most times, like people saying they want to work in oil company. I want to be an engineer, go to oil company and work, and then also maybe um, uh, become a politician. Those are the most enterprising job in Nigeria. Perhaps it's still now. So I joined Mobile Oil in VI for my youth service. After that, there was no job. They couldn't provide a permanent job for me. And then I decided to look somewhere else. That prompted me to start applying to go to school in the United States. I did my GRE and passed, was admitted in Missouri University of Science and Technology. So then I arrived as a Nigerian in the middle of winter, cold as hell. So it was a struggle coming all the way from Nigeria to a place, no man's land, they say. But, the two different things here that I arrived in a country that are well equipped for intellectuals to excel. And I came into this school, everything was so strange. I am an engineer, so to say, but never had a real time using all the tools, all the equipment that we used, we learned in the UNIZIC to actually do some practical work. Until I came into this school, I was looking at all the equipment that I've already learned, Okuma, Cincinnati, and all that for engineering experiment. And I was like, wow, this is what I've actually learned and studied in UNIZIC. So the point is that the system here provided you a better avenue to excel if you want to. And the one good thing about America is that you have two options. Either you want to succeed or you want to be useless. They will help you in either direction you want to go. So for me, I started learning afresh. Master's degree. You claim that you have bachelor's degree. Yes, we get all the knowledges back in Nigeria, but again, coming to compete with people that studied in the United States that had everything within their disposal is more challenging. But as Nigerians, that we all know that we have always God has always blessed us with intellectual capabilities. So it took me just a few months to pick up. And the good thing here is that the school that I attended, they have all various companies coming in to hire graduates. So it was right about my last semester in the school that I got 3 jobs. And I was like, wow. So my journey picked up from there. I had to choose Ford because I've always loved cars. So even though I was also offered a job at General Motors, I had an offer from Boeing as well. So my inclination here is like, I want to do something that drives me joy. I want to do something that, I feel like I love cars. Um, the decision was easy because aerospace as of then was something I thought I wouldn't want to go into aerospace because when am I going to be a pilot? It's not in my thinking. Choose to go for Ford, and then perhaps it was a dream come true for me. So getting into Ford was also a different challenge. Understanding that you have to design car. I was hired as a design engineer. It was also a lot of challenges as a fresh graduate coming from Nigeria. Number one is your accent. You are talking to people like Americans, and you have to learn how to say things their own way. If you don't say it exactly the way they want to hear it, they're not going to understand it. So, but as a Nigerian, we always know that we can't give up. So for me, it took me quite some time to start communicating properly, understanding that you have to do anything within your disposal to succeed. So by and large, here I am. The journey has always been better. And I want to share this experience to all the Nigerian youths to understand wherever you are today, the person you're looking at or you're hearing from today did not fall from heaven. And that is why I have to take my time to explain how I got to where I am today, knowing fully well that I attended community primary school, community secondary school, and then UNIZIG, as a matter of fact. So you might be going through some challenges now, thinking that you are not going to make it. Believe it or not, as long as you keep that positive attitude, the ability to succeed in everything you're doing, you're going to get to the highest level of anything you want to be. And again, I want to thank everyone for today. This conversation, for me, we're going to have more things to share. But at this moment, I'm just going to keep my background this way. Then we take it up as we go. Questions, concerns, anything you want to share, you want to ask us, feel free. We are here to answer it. And I want to also thank my brother, Dr. Zed. The reason why 2 of us decided to appear here today is because we share similar experience growing up. The grass was not that green. But here we are today by the special grace of God. So thank you again, our host, Chinedu Anichi TV. So I'm going to yield at this point, and then whenever you call me up again, I will provide answers or concerns that you may have. Thank you.
Yes, that's it. That's wonderful. You have heard. Now, none of these men fell from heaven. they are from the Nsukka. You understand? So, for those of you who think that you must be born in California or you must be born in Cambridge before you can become whatever you want to become. You have seen those here from them. You have seen Hillarry without an English teacher and without a physics teacher. But today,
Okay.
it's an automotive guru without a physics teacher. So, so we thank God that both of you are here. Instagram, why are you doing this today? I don't know what's wrong with the Instagram, man. Anyway, we can make a do with the other two. So, um, today we're going to ask you some questions, sir, and it will give us, like Hillary. Let me go to Hillary, Dr. Hillary Onyeshi. Dr. Hillary, it's true that you passed through all this and you went to UNIZIG as a federal university. You learned engineering. What really made you leave Nigeria?
Again, yeah, thank you again for that question. So, you know, for people that knew me back in UNIZIG, I was also actively involved with student unionism. and also actively involved with NAS. So we believed in Nigeria so much, and I did believe in Nigeria so much. And I never saw myself leaving the shore of Nigeria for any reason. I've always believed that we can make Nigeria better. But, to my own greatest surprise, when I finished my youth service at ExxonMobil, it was like a struggle, walking through the street of VI in search of job and all that. And then I found out that the job was not there. Perhaps even if you find a job, you actually have to be like connected to some level to be placed to where you want to be. So I tried that several months. There was no forthcoming job. And then one of my friends said, Hillarry, the guy that I work with at ExxonMobil then, he know what I can do, intellectually blessed. This man called me, I sat me down. So why not go and write your GRE and then try going to school? And then perhaps when you come back with a US or UK degree, that the job might be there for you. And I never thought about that. I was like, wait a minute, maybe I can. I picked up my book and started studying GRE. And I passed and applied to the school, Missouri, and I was admitted right away. And I came in without scholarship, as a matter of fact. But, when I was in Nigeria, the only thing I was going to do is just to find a job, stay in Nigeria and then find a way perhaps to get into politics to see how we can make Nigeria better for everyone. But that chance never came. So for me, traveling to the United States was not in my bucket list at all. But when all those doors were shut down, I was like, okay, maybe I have to go and try something as the man advised me, go study and come back to Nigeria. And then I left. I never made it back. So, and the reason why I never made it back is like I came to a country that value human development, a country that value intellectuals. So they don't want to, even though, like if you go to US Embassy now to do interview, they want to ask you, what is your plan after your studies, right? And then you're going to try to tell them you're coming back. But the truth is that once you're here, the country actually do not want you to go back as long as you are bringing something to the society. You are adding value to the country. That is how the country is wired. They don't want to lose the intellectuals. They want you to be part and parcel of this country. And that is why, as a matter of fact, I have always wanted to go back to Nigeria. But then, year in, year out, the avenue is not there. So, answer to your question, I left Nigeria because of limited opportunities to survive. Thank you.
Wow. So you escaped.
Escape to the hard way.
There's difference between migrating and escaping. A lot of people that are abroad, they do not migrate because migration has to do with volition. Everything is all right, but I feel like, changing environment for some reasons that might not be essential or fundamental. You understand? Or escape or japa, as our people will call it.
Means, then Japa was not in place. Now everything is about Japarism,
So thank you, Hillarry. Ozet, can we hear from you? Why you tell us if you escaped or migrated?
Thank you so much, Mr. Nietzsche. And I'm really so proud of all you've been doing for our people, the Black community, both in diaspora and at home. You know that if you don't tell your story, somebody else will tell the story, and you might not be happy how they will tell it.
Sure.
And that's why I'm so happy that you become the voice of the Black community in North America, in Europe, in Africa and in Nigeria. And it is my hope that one day, as you know me, I've always encouraged you to aim high, because CNN started like this. Aim high. So coming back to your question, as I pointed out initially, it was never my intention to leave Nigeria. I had an elder sister who was a doctor, and earlier on in my academic pursuit, I decided that I wanted to be a doctor too, because I had a mentor, which is very, very important in youth development, that you have someone who you look up to, someone who will advise you, someone who will help you navigate your dreams, your vision. Mentorship is very, very important. So I had it in my elder sister who was a doctor, and I had I didn't think twice to decide that I wanted to be a doctor. But also, there was none of these third generation banks. It was First Bank, Union Bank, and things like that we had in Nigeria then. And engineering wasn't lucrative. So most of us went to medicine just to find a place where we can at least have daily bread in Nigeria. But the truth was that after completing my medical training, I found out that there was no opportunity for me to actually carry on with my program. I'll give you an example. I went around the whole Nigeria looking for internship. That's a 12-month program, because if you don't have someone attached to your name or a big letter coming from some name, then that becomes your own. So finding internship was difficult. After the internship, even, I then discovered that I had very limited opportunity to do my residency. As I pointed out here before, I was faced with a system which I never thought existed, where people are not treated based on what do you have to offer the society, but based on who is behind you. Nobody's looking at your credential. It is who sent you. And if you don't have someone who sent you, like some of us, then your story is for another day. So it was at that point that I decided that I had to leave the frontiers of Nigeria, because I believed in myself, and I believed that I deserve a better opportunity, which was not being offered to me at that point. So I left. I still love Nigeria, and I'll be back to the country, and I will be back very soon. But that was my main reason. I wanted an opportunity to be able to excel. And as I pointed out here earlier on, this was exactly what I met on ground. I met people who were interested in human development, despite all the racism that we faced. Because if you believe in yourself and you know where you're going, there are things that you can forgo. There are things that you know, even when people say it, you know this is not you. Once you're focused, you will get there. So I left Nigeria because there was very limited opportunity. I had no big name attached to my credential to move forward. Thank you.
Okay, that's wonderful, Oz. It is everything is all about escape from my own judgment, because it is all about escape. I want to come back to Hillarry now. Hillarry, I saw the award you received from Ford Motor Company, as I was going through your profile. So, can you tell us a little experience of how you come about that? We are listening. Hold on. Go ahead.
All right, thank you so much again. And so the award you saw that was back in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Um, it came about, like I said earlier, when I first joined Ford, I came in as a design engineer. And then as a design engineer, your primary objective or task is to be able to come up with uh, we have a car that is already out there in the market, and the question is, how do you come up with a better design, a better shape, a better there's a whole lot of combination of things that makes automotive attractive. So our job is to bring something new to the market. And then for me, then it was more of a dream come true. And I went back to the drawing board, started thinking, how can I contribute to the team and contribute to the company as well? So I championed the design of the front structure of Ford Edge 2015 model year. So if people that are familiar with the transition of Ford and the new cars, so there was a huge design from what it used to be 2014 backward to 2015. So it was a brand new redesign of the concept. And then I led the team that came up with this concept. So, again, keep in mind here, this is a guy that came from Nigeria with, accent. So when you talk about accent in America, is a big issue because we Nigerians, by default, we speak so fast that the people will say, can you speak slowly, so I can hear you better. So not that you don't know what you're saying, but how to pass the message is the other challenge. So then, as a fresh graduate, you know what to say, but how to communicate that knowledge is a problem. So I struggle with all this combined with the kind of supervisor I had then that doesn't like people of color that much. So it become more interesting for me because as a Nigerian guy that have survived in the street of Lagos, right? Giving up is not in our gene. It's never our thing. So I learned all the things I did in a hard way. Even though the system is designed to protect you, but you also have to put in your best effort. So then at Ford, I spent time. Now then I go to work 7 a.m. in the morning, come back 7 p.m. in the evening. It's not the normal work hours. You're supposed to put in 8 hours. But for me to be able to speed up, I have to put in extra hours. So and then perhaps getting into this job, nobody believes you. Keep this in mind. You're talking to Oyibos, right? That all their life, perhaps their families have been working in the automotive industry, and you just coming from nowhere to be able to tell this person that this is how you want this to look. It takes great effort and great, commitment to pass that message along. So that award you saw was a result of the design concept that I was able to provide to the Ford Motor Company, and then is actually something that the management looked at the knowledge or my contribution and then and said, this guy, you have, we don't know much about your background, but what we know is what you have, contributed to the team. We were able to design Ford Edge 2015 and then the Lincoln version of it, Lincoln MKZ, then brought into market live. There was a picture I shared then, how the whole thing happened actually it was close to OZ House, Oakville, Canada, where we launched this product. So thereafter, the company came back. We came back to Michigan, where I was living then, and they called me up for the award presentation. So it was something I never knew is going to happen, but again, it did. And all these things are just as a result of hard work and the understanding that as a Nigeria, God gave us something that maybe, I would say this, God gave us something that our country right now is not seeing. Our country is blindfolded on all those endowment naturally that God gave to us, that we can put together and make other people appreciate us more than our people, our country, is doing at this moment. So that award was a stepping stone for me. It was after that award that the company also decided to say, Hillarry, whatever you want to do, we are behind you. And then I choose to go back to school to get my PhD, and they say they're going to pay for it, from the company funding. You don't have to pay for it. Go back. And then you are working full time, going back to school. As a matter of fact, it's also more challenging. But, we Nigerians, also, again, like I said, God is always behind us, and we believe in ourselves so much that we love education so much. So that award came as a result of contribution, positive contribution towards Ford Motor Company back in 2015. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, that's great. That's great. For the company and okay, just can you use this opportunity to give a shout out to Ford Motor Company?
you know, yeah, of course, I always give a shout out to them because, without Ford, in fact, I can't drive. I have other cars, but Ford is always like, I put it as a special place in my compound. You're always going to see Ford in my house. So, Ford, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you this: that company you see there is a family-owned company, but they have grown. If you go to Nigeria now, whenever I travel, my truck is sitting down there in Nsukka. Whenever I drive that truck, I drive it with joy, because in every day, everything you do in life is always good to see your effort, paying off. So I bless Ford Motor Company for the opportunity they gave me in life, and they keep doing that because even when I was there, because of my effort and the commitment, they told me, I want you to. One guy called me one day, said, Hillarry, can you find me someone like you? And then I called one of my buddy from Nigeria, Unizik as well. We went to Unizik together. He joined Ford as well, and they gave him a job without much interview. So that's how the system here works. Once you have demonstrated high level of intellectual capability, they want to trace back and see if they can find another person. So again, a big shout out to Ford Motor Company for all the positive impact that they have added in my life.
Wow, that's great. I said I'm coming to you. Yeah, Mr. Dr. O Nicodemus Ozemena Ugu. That's Dr. Oz MBBS MD FRCPC. Okay. Let me just leave the issue of chief and head department of psychiatry. You mentioned it passively, but for being a member of medical advisory committee, Brian Shaw's health system in Ontario, a country like Canada, Nsukka from Demo, who also sold mango and sold cashew and granite in Odenigbo. Now, tell us, how did that come about?
Well, thank you again, Mr. Nichi. Nigerian youths are the most enterprising, most innovative, most hardworking youth you find anywhere in the world, whether it's in the city of London, whether it's in the city of New York, whether it's in the city of Toronto. The only other country that have a youth population that could be compared or at par with Nigerian youth would be the Indians and the Chinese. Why am I saying this? As I mentioned earlier on, when I arrived this country in 2017 from London in England, I had no intention of quickly assuming a leadership role, even though I did believe in myself. But there were about 10 other physicians who are much, much older than me. They are all Caucasians, so I mean they are whites. So why do you want this black man, to head this department? He's the youngest. But you see, the whites have a way of discovering talent. Their leaderships are trained in being able to identify individuals, even from afar, that they think could bring positive change to their community. So when I became the head of the department in 2020, that's now almost 5 years, I automatically became the individual to represent the department at the top echelons of the hospital decision making, which is the medical advisory committee. So this committee will comprise of the CEO of the hospital, of the chief of staff, and then all of us, the heads of the department, will be members. And we meet every 2 weekly to take decisions regarding the running of the hospital. And I tell you that
But
out of
out of
about 20 other individuals, I am the only black man in that committee. And I'm also the youngest. But I said this, as I pointed out before, Nigerian youths are the most hardworking. This is a product of hard work. This is a product of vision, innovation, because for you to drive a department, you have to be able to be innovative, make 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 2-year plan, medium, long-term plan that you present every monthly before the management. And all these are the attributes of Nigerian youth. It's not just about Dr. Uza. These attributes of Nigerian youth that I meet all over the globe, whether they're in Washington. So my advice to Nigerian youth is this: wherever you find yourself, whether you're in Nigeria, you are abroad, just keep your head high, aim high. More importantly, continue that trajectory of hard work, of being patient, of integrity. Let people know that when they mention your name, this is what you are known for. Success has no particular formula, but there are a few ingredients you find everywhere. Thank you, Mr. Anichi. I will keep it at this.
Yeah, yeah, I think Dr. Ozag, that was very insightful. I just want to mention again what you said about success has no formula, that there is always a common denominator. There's always tendencies that must be found in any successful person. One is consistency, one is hard work, one is confidence, self confidence, ability to visualize, and ability to believe in yourself. Because the common denominator that all of you have attested here is that you believed in yourself. You believe in yourself, you believe in where you come from, even though in Nigeria, in a foreign land, that you believe in yourself. So I think those are the ingredients you mentioned, and they are very, very important. So we'll come back to Hillarry now. Hillarry, I want to ask something. Um, you worked in Ford, and you have just told us how Ford is very nice to you, how Ford did this for you, how Ford trained you, funded you. Ah, so what motivated you to accept their offer to go and do your PhD, and why did you leave Ford? So let us know why you left Ford, okay?
All right. That's another good question. A good one. So, brother, so like I did mention earlier, Ford was, I mean, is still a great place to work, and perhaps the opportunity was great as of that moment, you know, as of that time. But studying and working full time, there's a lot of commitment, and then down the road, you also find out that as your like PhD, for example, it has extensive amount of time you have to dedicate to your research. So I will put it in this way: when I embarked on my PhD, you know, it opened me up to some area of material science and engineering that I felt my life or my career could be better if I go towards that direction. So I picked up research in investigating application of new materials to build a tougher body. Like if you are driving a car and you're someone hit you by the driver side or passenger side, how do you make that resistance to be such a that the life of the passenger or the driver is safeguarded? So that research opened me up to a new dimension in engineering or material science um, world, so to say. So I took that research as an opportunity to learn. And then just about the middle of my research work towards my PhD, um, there is this organization called National Society for Black Engineers in the United States. It's an organization that helps to provide or to recruit more Black people into the corporate America. So I actually was there to recruit for Ford, funny enough. So Ford sent me in there to be the anchor person to hire more engineers and bring them back to Ford. And while I was on that mission, um, one of the recruiters at Raytheon, which is where I am now, asked me, what are you doing at Ford? And then I told the lady, and then she was like, can I have your resume? I did not have a resume at that moment. When I say resume, CV, because I was not preparing for, I wasn't looking for a job. So, and she says she might have a job that I may like, you know. And I was like, okay, maybe after the event, I will shoot my resume to you. And I did afterwards. And this woman was like, okay, can you make out time to come to Connecticut? I was living in Michigan. Can you come to Connecticut for us to meet with the hiring manager of that role? I was like, well, I will try. Right away, she provided me the flight ticket and the hotel accommodation and all that. And I took a day off from my work and flew to Connecticut. There, I met my boss, Bob DeLeo, and he was like, Hillarry, I'm more than impressed by so keep in mind here, I was working at Ford, automotive industry. Now, I went to interview at aerospace. So this is like two different worlds. Like they are going in opposite direction. So when I get in there, they were like, we want to learn about you, tell us about you. And trust me, my selling my best selling tool is always my story from Nigeria. Trust me, Nigerians do not know how people value us. The country, let me not say Nigeria, but let me say the country. And then what I mean by country, the leadership of that society. they do not realize how important other people see us. Our intellectual abilities are valued across the world. So when I went in there, I told him the story of my journey from Nigeria to here. You know what this guy just did? The same way. You know, I never had an interview at Ford. It was a white man that saw me in Missouri when we were doing like a, info section. They call it info section. So they come in, they try to explain about their company, what they do, to know if people are going to be interested to even listen to them or even work there. So I was just on the corner. And I came in as this is back and forth actually. So I came in as a Nigerian, coming in, learning all this thing for the first time. Then the man left everything. He just came to my corner. He was like, "Who are you?" And then I told him, I'm Hillarry. "Where are you from?" "I'm Nigeria." "Oh, wow. What are you doing here?" "I'm studying mechanical and aerospace engineering." "What is your GPA?" And I told him 4.0. So here, in Nigeria, we do 5.0, but in the US, it's 4.0, which is my first class. And he was like, "I want you to work for me." That's the word he used. "I want you to work for me." I was like, everything was so strange because I don't know how the process works in the US. And I said, "Okay, can I have your resume?" I gave him. And right there, that's how I was recruited to work for Ford. The same way, when I flew to Connecticut for interview, Bob DeLeo saw me, and I just told him the story, my journey from Nigeria. You know what? I worked with Nigerians before. I want you to work for me. So that was offer at a spot. And that is how I left Ford. And then, you know what? The truth is that as a Nigerian, with enormous responsibilities back home, right? This is the thing. Americans, they work for passion, right? I know, like some person, like the way I love Ford, I could say, if I was an American, I'm not going to leave Ford anywhere. But for us as Nigerians, right, our eyes are always on the money. So I love what I was doing at Ford, but at the same time, I have so many responsibilities back home. So I have many people to help. So the offer was so juicy that I couldn't say no, financially, and also professionally. I was a senior design engineer at Ford, and right away they offered me a manager to lead a team of engineers, from a place where you have zero experience. So, and that was something like, for me at that moment, I wasn't sure if I was prepared to lead a team like that. But again, I want to say this also, for people that are back in Nigeria, maybe when you are in your class today or like in the university, you are involved you are a class rep, or you're a member of NAS or member of SUG, and then you might not know what those leadership role you're playing is preparing you for. One thing that all these things prepared me when I was in Nigeria, having had so many political positions in the university, it have prepared me to be able to, tolerate others. Whenever you go out, people talking, you also have to remember every day that you are talking with people with different personalities, different characters. You should be able to listen. And that was my success. Coming from senior design engineer and then managing a group of over 15 engineers with zero leadership experience. And perhaps, yeah, I was thinking it's going to be end of road. They're going to fire me at some point. But you know what happened? Everything becomes greater. And I saw myself talking to people, addressing them in a way that I never felt before. So that story, to fast forward the whole thing, that is how I left Ford, and I never went back. And as I'm talking to you right now, after this, well, never say never, but as it is now, I'm not intending to leave. So let me end it here for now, and then I'll speak again when you come here.
Okay. That's great. That's great. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go to us this time. But there's always a usual thing we do, and I think it will be necessary we do so at a time, because one of the things we keep doing is to continue to showcase where we come from, which has always been our crusade. We come from a place, especially Nsukka, Enugu State, Igbo land, Nigeria, and Africa. This is what we represent in this place, this space. But before you talk about Africa, talk about all those big places and wonderful places, you have to start from your little corner. Just like you people explained, you have to start from Nsukka. And one of the things we are known for is our music called Ikorodo. So,
OCO Records. Okay. Nkwa. Ewudi.
yes, Kotome. Kotome. I am finding out the time.
Yeah, that was good one. That one took us back home.
My papa sị na ya abụghị eze ma ya abụghị ọsa ma ya na-evuru ọkụkọ a na-akpọ ya egusi mma mbụ na n'arịa wụrụ na ọkwụrụ meshi ọkụ a na-ebusa chọrọ nwere nubelube maka na ụkwụ na ya azụ otikpe onye
Ide
na
be Nsukka.
ebe anyị kemana kufu anya legido ụwa so ihe mmebe Otobo Nsukka na ọ bụ na topic anyị ji nta na Nigeria lile request na ọ bụ ihe Nsukka mana sisman oyibo maka Nsukka na asụ Igbo PhD ihu unulile ekpo na-edotere gị na Nsukka na-edotere n'oyibo mee kunu mefubo m ume maka ewere kasị na uwere sọsọ Nsukka kume asụsụ were sọsọ Nsukka unu ga-emefuchego ume ka ọ dị so anyị na Hillarry biko welekere Nsukka be anyị uwe mana anyị ndị Nsukka ma OZ kume were Nsukka be anyị OZ uwe maleka na anyị ndị be anyị pe
Nsukka be anyị dejeno anụ dejeno.
Okay, Deje, OZ ewomere wamana Hillarry wamana anyị ndị Nsukka dị anyị
Nsukka dejene nwa bọchara ndị be anyị sịrị ya na-eme nta bụ emume ka anyị gwara ndị be anyị ka ọ dị maka na ndị be anyị sịrị na onye amaghị mgbe nwunye bidoro tigide amaka ogete mbụ ya esinya ya nọ jekọ so na ya anyị na-akọ akụkọ nta abụ ka anyị ka ma mgbe nwunye nke anyị bidoro je tigide anyị ndị be anyị ana m ekene unu na-ekene ekwe Chinedu Anichi TV na ọrụ ọ na-arụ na mbọ ọ na-agba na ọ dịkwa gị izi na ọ dị gị izi biko na anyị na-asụkọma ndị Nsukka be anyị ka unu jisie ike ụmụntakịrị ndị na-eswete teneswete emeri ka ejisie ike na ihe ọma anaghị abịa ọsịsọ na ọ bụkwa ahụ mbọ mgbe ihe na-eme mechigide n'ike na ọ ji adịcha oyi eziste oke abịa ma kere anyị niile amagwọ na o nwere akara ike o nyere anyị akara ike anụ ọ ji erute o nwere ike igbu oge o nwere ike ite eka a sị na ike agwụ gị maka na ike egwu gị na iruke gị mgbe iji eko na anyị na-asị n'ujisie ike ndị ụmụ na-anụ maka ha oshwa anyị bidoro hụ na mụrụ onwe m akọgwa ọrụ ugbo kọma nkachi kọma ụgwụta kọma alịbọ gumeji ihe niile na-eme ha na-emechegome na masị gị jisie ike eziste okenye dị gị atịghị n'aka na ya adịghị oyi ya bụ nke mbụ ezi n'oshi mege egbule mmadụ just jiri nwayọọ n'iji eru mgbe ijego Nsukka dejene Igbo bụ Igbo mma na ekene mụnụ nke onye chiso kwere ya gazienụ
ya Deje enwere asị na ọkụkọ ya rụkwọ owere gị n'ozigide ụmụ ọ bụ atị n'otu sotie nwa nkwọ ị na-aghọta so na ya ka anyị si eme Nsukka idekarmọ na na-eri nkashi ma obodo ọzọ ji etofe ote na-abịa chebi ebichi ote ma na ihe na-emebi na-esi na ote nye ma m na-asụ nnube ebi ụnụdụrụ ndụ n'ụkwa m ote ọzọ na uliri nghọta gbakọ n'ọsọ m izu ofe ngene siza anụ nwere kparịkpa bịa ṅụrị emunyi nga na-asụ unu n'obi ara na Chinedu Anichi TV bịa ṅụrị emunyi na ya zụ ofe me ngene ihe ị na-eme gị bụ onye Nsukka free of charge bịa na Chinedu Anichi TV anyị nọ ka anyị na-ekwu okwu na na-ahụ na Instagram a na-ahụ na YouTube a na-ahụ na Facebook o nwere ụdị enu anyị nwere na Nigeria mana ọ bụ onye Nsukka bụ enwe anyị na-asị unu kpọọ ihe nke unu ihe unu na-abịa na-atị anya na ihe anyị na-eme mgbe niile n'ọja adịcha n'ụlọ oyi ụmụaka na-ewechere ige mee Nsukka bụ ọchịrị gị nwe ọmụnkwụ ọmụsịdega anyị adịrị Nsukka ezigbo mmadụ echicha ọkpa sọsị anyị na-arịọ ọgụ oriọkwa afụtara otetara oriọkwa beja sajide nza otere egwu na oteni igbo techara ahụchara na ego ọla ka bụ na-emebile ha anyị so anyị na back to ihe anyị bịa na Hillarry so Hillarry the concept of Nsukka is the major thing why I brought you people here. We are trying to position Nsukka for global recognition because there is nothing that other people have that we don't have. So one of the reasons that propelled me to nurse up the idea of this kind of a platform is for our people, the qualities, the tendencies, the Nsukkaness Yeah, the quiddity of Nsukkaness in the personalities that come from Nsukka. Let it be showcased because we know it is marketable, it is acceptable, it is something that we can consolidate on and sustain its continuity globally. So today, in all these your success stories, Hillarry, can you pinpoint at any point in time that your Nsukka orientation on one Nsukka helped you to succeed?
Yes, thank you again, Chinedu. Like we all rightly said, and then we went back to where we actually started, way back in community primary schools to secondary school level. So, always something that have always stood out. And I think also Dr. Zed will share throw more light on this as well. As an Nsukka person, right, there's something that is our culture prepares us early to very honest and disciplined. Okay, with these two things, now, don't make no mistake about that. Honest and disciplined. This is the two, that Nsukka people. You remember back in the days, because I went to school in Anambra. They always talk about one Nsukka as somebody that always say yes, but people think that they assume that as a weakness, not knowing that that is actually our strength, right? So that we always say yes doesn't mean that we don't know when to cut the short and say enough is enough. We believe, we have that inbuilt personality to always help, to always listen, to always ubemishi. Eh? So this has helped me in every aspect of my career to this day, you know, because one thing that you should realize in life is for you to be successful, you have to be winning and always eager to follow direction. That spirit of followership is because if you want to be a leader, believe it or not, anywhere in the world, if you're not a good follower, you cannot actually be a good leader. So, Nsukka, and I'm speaking to my people right now, I want all of us to know that those days we believe, like asking Nsukka, you feel intimidated. Is one of the fight, like I actually, fought in Unizik then. Like, I don't like that language because people see it as a negative connotation. However, I want us to know that it's actually a good thing for you. Like, is something that you have to accept and believe that it's something that's going to help you in every aspect of life. So for me, it was not really a challenge because, like we have always pointed out here, that believing in yourself is the key driver here. And again, knowing fully well that if onye bani onye Nsukka, before. Back in the days, they know scam market and go. Highest they would go more go. We don't know all these things before. So we have always believed in hard work. We do it in a hard way, listening, following direction. So that has been my key to survivor. Even like all those stories in our culture, way back in ExxonMobil, how I was able to like have an interaction with someone that helped me to actually, talk about going to the US. It was just about that personality that I was born with, that I grew up with as one Nsukka. So that is something that we cannot give up. As an Nsukka person, we are meant, even spirit in a different way. Now, like Imo, they keep coming to buy another wine because here in the US as well. I can say a lot of families here in the channel they stay. Sometimes the marriage can be challenging, but in the now down the road, there's a reward for it. So I don't work also have that same personality as well. We work hard, we stay together, we follow directions and all that. So, brother, that question can never be over stated. What I can tell you right now is like as an Nsukka person, it has helped me in every aspect of my career being where I am today. So I can't say it enough, but as time goes on, maybe in a different day, when you invite us, we could also tap into this in a different topic. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was like, what they call since I know you already, we're classmates. That's why our own is different. We're classmates in the secondary school, and I've always known you to be somebody who is pro Nsukka, and you anywhere you are, you always like to carry the symbol that I'm, and you would like to prove to anybody from anywhere that you can do it better than Nsukka. So, but I didn't follow you to Ontario and to UK, to Ireland. So, by this, you are the one Nsukka tendency and the orientation. Has it in any way been a part of what makes things easier for you or successful?
Thank you so much, Mr. Adichie, again. One thing that I will tell you that I'm very proud of being an Nsukka man. And anywhere I find myself, in any occasion, I always identify as an Nsukka person. I know that when we were growing up, there was always that slogan, even at the University of Nigeria, where people use the one Nsukka in a derogatory terms to mean that you are less than them or you are inferior to them. The truth is that those attributes that a lot of them misguided or misconstrued to mean weakness has actually been the selling point of a lot of us. In those Nsukka, we are known for being very humble. In those Nsukka, we are known for being honest. In those Nsukka, we are known not as criminals, as Hillarry pointed out. In the Banya Bogundo Kochicho, then getting released here. Most of the on the Agben Biarmeme changing as if it is now a weakness. But let me tell you something. Coming abroad, those are the ingredients that have actually allowed a lot of us to prosper, but a lot of us to also be where we are. Because a white man identifies few things in an individual. Your integrity, that they know who you are. I mean, that if they say Dr. Oz was supposed to be in this meeting today and is not there, they know that something has happened, something serious. Your humility. And more importantly, that you are reliable. And this is the truth. And all those attributes are the things that because in ship, yeah, not just about but our community as Black people. Based on the information that the West have about us, because I believe command, the way that you like. So you already see that there are those stereotypes about who we are, which is different from exactly what we actually represent. And then when they come close to you to identify those attributes, which some of them believe are already lacking based on the information that they have been given through the media, and they come close and find out that, oh, this person is hardworking, this person has integrity, this person is humble, this person is reliable, this is somebody who I can rely on, they pick you very quickly. And the way they are, first impression matters for them. Once they see you and they could identify those things which people misconstrued, you know, anyway, I think those are stories now. But the truth is that those are the things that have actually set us apart with a lot of them. This is the truth. Our people today, in all fields of endeavor, whether it's in medicine, in engineering, in accounting, in digital technology, anywhere, are holding their heads high, whether in the diaspora or even back home in Nigeria. And those attributes has been very, very beneficial, very helpful in ensuring that these individuals are identified quickly and that they succeed. And I can tell you the truth, those attributes have been the cornerstone of a lot of my success in Europe, in Canada, because I will not make your own. I will tell you the truth. Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, very importantly, we have come to the bedrock of why we're here today, because Hillarry is manager from a senior engineer to the team leader of those who designed the Ford Edge of 2015, launched in Canada, and metamorphosized to a manager of more than 15 engineers reporting to him, white engineers from all over the world in Redton Technologies, which is one of the companies that design and do fighter jets for United States defense. You know what it is. So it's a wonderful achievement, Hillarry, but Hillarry, how will you translate this to impact on our Nigerian entrepreneurship and Eurospace? In fact, how will you bring in all this your experience to impact in Nigerian soil? What is your dream? Even if you're not doing it now, or you have attempted it, or come on, tell us, because we cannot allow this to remain in the white country alone. Oh, hold on, it's like you paused. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, my brother, again for this taking me to. Whenever I get this kind of question, so it tickles me. It tickles me because as a Nigerian, I can't say it in a different way. One of the things that we are facing right now, like Ozed said, and then also I'm saying it again, is let me put it this way. Why America stays in business. Why in business I mean is why America stays at number one in the whole world. This position I'm saying right now, they do not want to relinquish it to any country any day. Is the understanding what is called competitive intelligence. Competitive intelligence is what propels a company, an entity, a country to thrive above others. And what does that mean? Competitive intelligence. It means your ability to understand your comparative advantages and how you can use it to command the business take the market lead. This is cut across every sector, every organization, every industry. And then applying this to Nigeria perspective, and then related to the question that you just asked me, as an engineer surviving in the Western world, in the United States of America, how do you use that to help your own country where you came from? That answer to that question is complex. It's complex in a way that the country where all of us came from, as a matter of fact, today, does not even realize, you know what it means? Like they said that for you to solve a problem, you have actually to understand you have a problem. If you do not understand you have a problem, believe it or not, you cannot get a solution. So as I'm speaking here, that's what I said that, when you ask me this question, it tickles me because I feel challenged and incapacitated at the same time. We are from Nigeria, and then believe it or not, the opportunity to go back to Nigeria is not there. Because of what I said before, Nigeria have not realized what they have, the potentials, the enormous potentials in that country. So for all of us here in the United States and then Canada and the other part of the world, you keep scratching your head. Whenever I go to Nigeria for Christmas or any other time, I always have that reluctance to go back. But you know what? You only left with one opportunity. You have to go back. So to answer your question, the only way that I have come to believe is to help my own people is doing what I've always done, helping other Nigerians struggling in Nigeria to find their faith and then get admission here in the United States to come and study. Because once you step your foot in this country and you believe you can excel, you can always excel. And that is why you keep hearing the Igbo saying, America is land of opportunity. It's land of opportunity in the sense that once you're here and you believe you want to succeed, you're going to succeed. If you're here and you believe you want to be a useless person, you become useless. So the road is always options. It's up to you to take the best one for yourself. So the application of all the knowledge that we are acquiring today to Nigeria. Now, let me put it this way. If I think about establishing a company in Nigeria now, does the country, we need to provide a safe environment for you to do that? The answer is no. Let me take you back to when I was at Ford. Back in 2012, 2015, I had an interaction with Enugu State government. Enugu State government then under Buruburu. And that was
I know about that. Yeah.
You know about that? Yes, you are there. So I called these people up. We have an NAMCO sitting in Emene that is not functional. And then I told these people, come to Michigan. Let me take you to the president of Ford Motor Company so that we can use that at NAMCO industry and then use that to start up as an assembly of Ford product. And that will become a hub for us to use that to actually ship Ford product. Right now, the only place Ford have a facility is in South Africa. They make Ford Rangers there. And I was speaking to them, let's take advantage. That's when I met by competitive intelligence. We like all these things. Understanding, you cannot make engineers in a society when there's no industry for them to actually apply their knowledge. Even, do internship or co-op or what we call, what is it called again then? I forgot what we used to call it in engineering. You go after 6 months, you go towards your 4th year, you go for industrial training. Yes. IT. So then I was telling the government, let's use Anamco. Let's talk with these people. The only thing that it will cost us is to let them operate without paying tax, provide land for them. This is what China have done successfully. And that's when I mean competitive intelligence. When I was at Ford, we used to make Ford of China. Then within my team, China will keep sending small boys, 18 years, 20 years. They come from China, and Ford pays for their direct flight to the US. They come provide accommodation, training, and then as I'm speaking to you right now, that Ford of China is being made in China because we train all their engineers and become capable of doing it. So why am I saying all these things? It's because of the question you asked me, and it burns my heart, whenever I get this kind of question, because I wish our country right now, Nigeria, think about this in everywhere in this country. There's no sector that is successful in this country that will not find a Nigerian. We know we have the capability and intellectual gift, but we need an avenue to explode.
So the country needs to turn on. The country needs to turn on.
It's just like the country is not winning. You might think, oh, you love your country, and then you want to go and provide something for your country, but there's no way, there's no system in place. So the country need to understand, to grow your competitiveness, and that's why I mentioned the US. They do not want to relinquish their power globally. They keep playing that, police role to other countries in the world because they want to be ahead. For Nigeria to be ahead today, we need to reset. We need to reset. Understand, we are rushing. Giddy. Where are we rushing to? Ajokuta steel industry. We have the natural resources. I do not even believe that place is functioning. And even if it's functioning by the virtue of politics, somebody will just like buy it and then do it for their own personal gain. The country has to offer something. Nigeria need to turn on. Be receptive for Nigerians that are brought to come back in. That is what India is doing now. That's what China is doing now. That is what Australia is doing now. Indonesia. Look at this other country. Nigerians go for tourism. What is it? Qatar and UAE. What they are doing. They believe in themselves. They are competing. They know that offering a tourist attraction is a way to grow the economy. What are we doing? So for me as an engineer, I wish I can do more. But look at me here. Even where I work now, they don't even want to lose me, to be honest with you. They don't want to. So
and you too don't want to lose them for where you are not sure of.
Honestly, I do not. But again, the love for Nigeria is persists every other thing. I wish Nigeria will turn on a place like, okay, we need to manufacture cars. We need to assemble cars in Nigeria. We need an aerospace industry that we can actually start building aerospace for ourselves. You cannot get to, become Boeing overnight. Or, you have to start from somewhere. We have the intellectual gift. Research.
Nataba Kai Jose.
It's tough, my brother. It's painful, but again.
I'm on this side. Bagakara that side. Okay, we'll take it. But what we would do, it is what it is. Who said, as a medical expert, especially somebody who has grown to have gotten all that is required in medicine, you can be referred to as an authority. So in medicine, so how do you intend to? I know you have been helping in other ways, but professionally, as somebody who have acquired a lot of experience and knowledge in medicine, especially where you measure, how do you intend to help Nigeria?
Thank you again, Mr. Anichi, for this opportunity. There are a few things I wanted to highlight. I watched a video, I think it was 2 days ago, where a lot of Nigerians who are residing in London were being interviewed, and some of them were asked, if you are given £100,000, even some were offered £1 million, even some were offered £1 billion. They were asking them, will you return to Nigeria? And I was shocked in their response. And all of them, not one person, all of them said no. And when they were asked why, they said, well, until Nigerian leadership changes, that they will not return back. But I, Dr. Oz, I have a different perspective. I want to tell you this. There is this thing we call the bystander effect, which means people, will wait for A or B to do something instead of intervening. The truth is that every youth in Nigeria, including myself, are aware that our system as it is now is not working. And there is no other person who is going to fix it except with the youths. We cannot say, well, until the system gets better, then we do ABC. Because if we do not decide to hold our government accountable, to put in place the things that are being done other places, we will never get to where we want it to be. So the point I was making was, if all of us decide to say, well, because the way Nigeria is, we just throw in the towel. The truth is, Nigeria will remain the way it is. Unless we decide, and the bystander effect, which I mentioned, was A is waiting for B to be the first to do it. Maybe they said that there's a riot in Lagos and people are clapping. Oh, maybe that will. So we all know that the government isn't good. Our system isn't working. But we are all waiting for A or B to take the initiative. The truth is this. When you look at all the systems that have worked, whether it's in US, whether it's in Europe, the masses always stand for what they want. And this takes me back, before I answer that question, this takes me back to what our very good friend, which some of us might have heard of when he spoke, Tupac of blessed memory. He said that death is not the greatest loss. The greatest loss is what dies inside us while we are still alive. Why am I saying this? If we, the youths, continue to wait when things will be okay, it will never be okay. We have to stand and hold our government accountable. But to answer your question, Nigerian system, in terms of what do I intend to bring to help Nigerians, help Igbos, Nsukka in particular, medically. I want to point out something to you. And when you look around where we come from, in particular, I'm talking about Nsukka as a zone, a lot of our people are dying just for minor things, for nothing. Because we do not have any world-class hospital anywhere in Nsukka today. What we have is Bishop Shanahan, all these places. And I do understand that business in Nigeria is very difficult, but as I said, we cannot use, because of the difficulty, both at system level, to now say that we're going to relinquish our own country. Because All of us might have passports in Europe, in North America, and everywhere, but the only way we call home is Nigeria. This is the truth. And few weeks ago, we saw a 36-year-old man, or a man in his early 30s, become the president of Senegal. He came out from prison. He visited Nigeria a few days ago. The point I'm saying is that we, the youth of Nigeria, need to stand up for what we believe is right. I know it's difficult. Rome was not built in a day. But if all of us continue to wait, Mr. A will do it, Mr. B will do it, nobody will ever do it. In terms of the medical issue, I have been thinking about it, and what we intend to do is that we are putting in place measures to facilitate, to bring a world-class hospital in Nsukka land. And it is something that will not take very long time. We're already in the process. And what we also intend to do is that once this is achieved, we are looking for partnership. Because one thing with success is that you have to look at your environment, understand what is important, need in that environment, and work towards it. Nsukka needs a world-class hospital. This is a place where there is University of Nigeria for more than
64 years.
Yes, and still people there do not have a functioning hospital where they will receive treatment. We are working towards that. And we want to have a partnership with our colleagues abroad here through telemedicine, but also, as you know, our people are not so rich. So affordability in such a world-class hospital will be a problem. We're also looking to combine it with a charity perspective where we can bring in money through the charity and be able to offset the bills of a lot of these people that are not likely going to be able to afford it. But the most important thing is that we want to bring those facilities where people and Nsukka man will not die just because of minor ailment. Okay? We're also looking at the critical care area so that if somebody has a heart attack, the person can actually, there's an available number that the person can call, an ambulance can arrive, take you to a center, and people have the knowledge, the training, even to administer CPR on the ambulance. And if it means that we have to work with our partners to get some of these people exposed to that abroad, we will do that. We are working towards that. That's one thing I will say to you here. Outside that, the other aspect is also mentorship. You see, mentorship is very, very important. Helping our young ones who are in medical school be able to understand how they will navigate the medical curriculum, even come abroad here, do their residency, and decide whether they want to remain here or whether they want to return back to Nigeria. I'm going to leave it at this point, Mr. Nietzsche, and I'm happy to take other questions. Thank you.
Okay, my people. I think today God has blessed us so much. I think we have done enough. We've almost put 2 hours into this, and I know what it means for both of you professionals to bring out this 2 hours and where we are now, just for this interaction. But God will reward you. But before we draw the curtain for today, I must appreciate you. Viewers, Osinachi and others, those on Instagram, I don't know what happened in Instagram today. Instagram was, you are live on Instagram. Why? Still saying I'm live on Instagram. This could be funny, but I'm not seeing it. So, please, before we draw the curtain, I would like to ask you a question about our appraiser, the review of Chinedu Anichi TV. Hillarry, Dr. Hillarry, what can you tell our fans? What can you tell your fans? What can you tell the people watching us, the Black community, all over the world, and our people at home in Africa about Chinedu Anichi TV, Otobo Nsukka, as the voice of Africa in diaspora? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Once again, I want to thank you for this great effort because, nobody used to say, you be there, Kwana, more, right? What does that mean? To start up anything is always going to be difficult at the beginning, right? But, by God's grace, with the effort you're putting together right now, it's going to get to cruise control, automatic enrollment. It keep flying, and then
As automotive guru, cruise
yeah,
control.
cruise control. Yes. So you're gonna
Automobile,
get there.
automobile, sopo.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to use this moment to thank our people, and then also, Chinedu cannot do it alone without your support. And right now, the new era we are in a digital world, you have to be able to like show support by sharing the videos and to your friends and families to understand that this is real. What Chinedu have done for the past couple of months is actually something that prompted someone like me to be here today. Is the demonstration of hard work and dedication to serve his own people, and then being here in the Western world, trying to propagate Nigeria agenda in a positive way. This alone catches my interest for the kind of person I am. So I want to use this moment to also um, thank our listeners for sticking with us. It has been an extensive conversation, and I will tell you this: this is just the beginning. There are so many things that we did not touch base today that we're going to come back again in a short while to continue to explore the best way we can relate our stories to help people. Because the stage I am in my career, I'm that kind of a person that doesn't just believe like once you're successful, you shut the door for others. No, I believe in opening doors. And if you have any question, I'm on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. You plug in my name, Hillarry Onyishi. You see me there. If you don't recognize my name, you recognize my picture. So anytime you need any question, anything that will help you to succeed in life, feel free to reach out. And at the same time, through Chinedu Anichi, he has our contacts. He knows where to find us as well. So please continue to support this initiative. Like all of us have said, those have said that before, CNN, BBC, NTA, all of them started from somewhere. And what we're doing today is to position, without this platform, you will not be hearing from me. You might hear from me in different way, but not in an amplified manner. So this is a channel for us to like say what we need to say to reach our people, live and direct. So thank you again for sticking with us for this 2 hours. It has been a good conversation, and I believe there's always going to be a tomorrow. All right. Thank you,
Yeah.
Chiodo. Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank
Ozed.
you, Dr. Hillarry. Ozed, what can you say about Chinedu Anichi TV as we round up? Hold on.
Thank you again, Mr. Nichi. As you rightly pointed out, this journey began almost 3 decades ago, since we've known each other. And I always know what you can do. You have that never surrender attitude, hard work. You're very intelligent, you're focused, you're humble. And I was not surprised because I know when you talked to me regarding establishing
Yeah.
Chinedu and Egypt TV, Otobo Nsukka, I had no doubt in my mind because I know what you can do. My advice to our people, Nsukka, the black community, all the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Hausas, all Africans in diaspora, both home and abroad, because as I said earlier on, if you don't tell your story, somebody else will tell the story, and you might not like how they will.
There's always prejudice. When
Yes.
an outsider tells your story.
As you know today, when you go to CNN or Fox News or the big cables, hardly will you hear Africa be mentioned. Africa is being modeled as one country. Some people don't even know that there are other countries that exist inside Africa. Because for the Western world, maybe Africa doesn't matter. The truth is that it is left for us to tell our own positive story. As my friend have said, Dr. Hillarry, we need to propagate our own story. And I'm so proud and happy on the job that you are doing, propagating the culture, the, the innovative potentials, the talents that are bound in Africa to the whole global community. I know that it is not easy, but I know that you will get there. I want to point something out to you, and I want you to listen to this. Do not aim low. I want to tell you this today. Do not aim low. Aim high. Vision this platform as something that will transform into something that is greater than you or anyone in the future. Because I want to point out something to you. I want you to look at the late Herbert Nwigwe. This man epitomizes things I want to tell you today. One, in his early 30s, he was already a director in GTB. He was comfortable. But he left his comfort zone because he had a vision. He thought very hard. He wanted to own a bank. He left his comfort zone. And what did he do? He looked for a partner who shared his vision. He stayed in his area. This is the area that he had qualification, he had skills in. But through hard work, dedication, and patience, over a span of 2 decades, the bank that he formed, even though he's late, is one of the topmost 4 banks in Nigeria. This is about dream. Why am I saying this to you is I know what you can do. I want you to envision this platform being transformed into something bigger than you that will live for centuries, but become a voice for the Black people all over the world to tell their story and not allow another person to tell that story the way that suits that individual's agenda. And to our fans and our listeners who have tuned in today, I want to encourage you in any way you can to continue to share the good stories, the news in Chinedu and Ichi. Support this program in any way you can. Press that button, subscribe, do anything that is important to help ensure that the dream of the founder of this TV, Chinedu and Ichi TV, and Otobo Nsukka will outlive all of us. I also want to thank all our fans for listening to us today. I'm sure that we're going to have more times to share ideas. I remain Dr. Ozad, and thank you so much for listening.
Yes, my people, greet you most fundamentally. This is Chinedu Anichi, and you're one and only celebrities here. So, and this is Chinedu Anichi TV, Otobo Nsukka, streaming live from United States of America. You can see when I said Nigerian gurus are coming around, a medical guru, an automotive guru, engineering guru, you are seeing. So I promise you that what grows platform in parentheses in our place is creating contents that are passive, ephemeral, and undertoned by immorality. But we promise you that we are going to be educative and we are going to bring contents that are innovative and life-saving. And that's why I fish out, I take time to fish out seasoned personalities, experienced personalities, and you can see in this dough what they have in them. Nigeria, I want to advise you. What you are looking for is right under your nose. Look at these two young men. That is how we have a lot of them scattered everywhere in the world. Nigeria, you're great. And Nigerians are great. Africans are great. But let us use what we have and continue to grow. God bless you. Thank you, Dr. Hillarry. Thank you, OZ, for your humility and for your time to be in this very small platform. You saw NTA, you saw CNN. I know some of you can afford it, no matter how much they want to pay, but you decided to come here just for you to support the platform that gives a voice to the voiceless. I promise you, we're not going to disappoint you. I promise you that legacy and that tendency of excellence, hard work, transparency, sincerity will not be lacking in this platform. God bless you as we see you next time. God bless you. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yep. Yes, my people, my name is Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity here. So today, you are great individuals. Tomorrow, we'll be having another great person who will be speaking the same time, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Tomorrow, a great woman, former bank manager, former this, former that, a lot. She will talk about herself when she comes tomorrow. She will be on this platform tomorrow to talk about domestic violence against men. Naturally, a woman is coming to talk about what they do to men. So tomorrow will be another mind-blowing topic by another guru. So do well to always come around. But if today is your first day, don't leave without subscribing. Don't leave without tapping the followership button. Be with us, follow us, watch our videos. There are other things. This is just the live session. There are other videos, on-demand videos in the page that is teaching a lot of things. There are other interviews we have that were projected. Remember, I'm an Nsukka man, because I have a root and I continue to be proud of where I come from. And make Nsukka. Bye-bye. Remember, will rise by lifting others. Don't leave help for Bikubana, for Joey Zaza, for OZ, for Hillarry, for all this thing. You also, as you're standing there, you are an instrument of lifting others. I presented my platform for voice. What are you bringing to the table? I know you have something in you. Look into yourself and bring something that will help us move Africa forward, move Nigeria forward, move Igbo land forward, move Nsukka forward. God bless you. Remember, I love you. Bye.